All right, Jason Rona here in the J Concepts garage. We're here with Fred Reap, and Fred, we're talking monster trucks as usual. We got the Reactor truck kits here in front of us. We got the 10.75 and the 13-inch wheelbase truck. And today we want to talk a little bit about the differentials in these trucks. You built one, you got your truck built up and ready to go. We've had Julian here in the shop building a bunch of diffs for us. He's obviously the one going to be here in the video showing us kind of the step-by-step. But anyway, we wanted to talk a little bit about putting these diffs together. It's the first step in the manual. It's probably the most difficult part to get right when you start. And in the manual, we have some pins that are already pressed into the hubs of the diff. In the first generation manual, the pins were out, but they're actually pressed in. And Fred, when we went through the build here, you put this build together, right away you felt like, hey, we need to add some grease here on these shims for the satellite gears to make sure that they're sticking to the gear, and when you're putting them in on the hubs of themselves, that just adds to the ability that they just stay intact and they're not just outside and going to be floating around.
Right, you don't want it to float around or possibly slip out a little bit. If you do force anything in, you could actually damage it. It's nice to have your J Concepts pit mat out and have them all laid out, maybe with a nice paper towel. You know, have all your pieces ready, and then pre-assemble, lube everything. It's all important in a differential to have plenty of lubrication, even on an initial build.
Yeah.
It will mix up eventually, but your initial contact and your first break-in period of this differential, you want all those components to be properly lubricated before assembly.
You know, we have these really small, thin shims that go against the satellite gears, and in the instructions, it's to, you know, build those next to the gear. And what we're using is some of the grease that comes with the kit. We use a screwdriver and we tap that grease in there against the shims. We put them there so that they stick to the gear itself. So when you're actually inserting this thing together, that the shims don't fall down, that the greases help holding it together. So when we're putting these together, you kind of put one half together, and then once you get the satellite gears down there, you got your other side that's ready to go. You got the gears built there, you got the shims on with the grease. Then you have to decide, all right, we're going to put the oil in here.
Right, got to put the oil.
We're going to start putting the fluid in here. And that's a good thing about this Reactor truck, is it has adjustable oil-filled diffs. And it comes with 10,000. But Fred, you've messed with a lot of these RC trucks. Not many of them had oil-filled diffs until, you know, probably the last 5-10 years. Obviously, this comes with the Reactor. But based on your experience out there, you've adjusted a lot of these diffs for some of your freestyling performances, as opposed to, you know, doing race performances. This comes with 10,000, but talk to us about having that adjustability where you can go up and down on the diffs.
Yeah, it's very important, and it's a really nice option. You know, for years and years and years, these things just came with an open differential. And if you look at a lot of the old races that, you know, you go over an obstacle and you see the differential action work, and that can really cost you a race. With this here in the liquid-filled differentials, you can adjust the fluid. The thicker you go, you're going to give it more of that rigid, locking, limited slip effect. That'll give you a better launch, better traction, and all in all, a better performing truck.
Yeah, I mean, as we go down the road here between the two wheelbases, I mean, ultimately, when the truck's longer, there's going to be, you know, when you accelerate and get on the rear more, with the longer truck, you got a longer lever there. You could possibly go to a thicker rear fluid on the longer truck, as opposed to even the 10.75. So being fully adjustable, you can change front or rear. You don't have to match. You could go thicker in the back, thicker in the front, depending on what you want to do, or you can match them, go with the same fluid front and rear. You know, so far in all the running I've done, I've only used 10,000 because I knew that's how we were going to build it in the kit. But, you know, Fred, when you're going out and you've done the freestyles, these performances, or when you're racing, you kind of want to watch how thick these diffs can be, because it can either limit traction, it can give you traction,
right,
it can give you drivability off the side of jumps. You know, like you said, you land and the other one doesn't want to spin, you can have a rollover. So you know, talk a little bit about going to the thicker for maybe a more higher powered setup versus, you know, kind of limiting it for a lower power.
Yeah, definitely if you're adding the power, you want to probably go a little thicker on the diff. to take some of that slip out of there. I even use it as a safety factor. And you see in a lot of the older monster trucks, they have a locking differential. And when the truck goes up on the front end, if you're not perfectly straight and able to drive out a crash, if you land on front end, you get that differential action again, and the truck's going to dump over and cost you a race. So I prefer typically a little heavier oil in my trucks, but again, it's all preference. It's something that we've made it easy with the Reactor to service these differentials, where you can go out, test and tune, go out in your backyard, drive it, see how you like it, make a little change, have an extra spare diff ready. You know, it's all about that tuning and how serious you want to get into it. Again, my preference, a little thicker diff oil. The truck handles, to me, a little bit better, a lot more traction, a lot more bite, and even if you have a trip up, you're able to drive it out.
Yeah, and then when you're out there testing and you got turns on the track or you're running straight line, that's all going to depend on how you want to change it too. You know, we do these trucks in so many different configurations of track layouts that, you know, sometimes you want to set up for turns, sometimes you want to set up for all straight line. But the reality is, if you're going to be doing a lot of turning, then you're going to want to think about the diff viscosity that you're using. So another thing here is, you know, in our video of the diff build and through the manual, we actually call for the amount that you put of the diff fluid in the actual diff when you're doing it. We state in the manual that we want you to go up to the top of the satellite gears, but you know, the reality is you can be a little lower than that. It's better to be a little lower than too high, because a completely filled diff that doesn't have anything or any air in it or any space, it can hydrolock on you. That happens in 8-scale buggy racing, I know, where they get too much diff fluid in there and it can hydrolock. So you want to pay attention to that manual. Look at our, we also have a YouTube video of the assembly. Look at how we're adjusting where we put the fluid level. Look at the instructions, of course, and make the adjustment.
Yeah, and then overfilling too, again, if you overfill it and you press it all together, it may be fine, but once you start running it and all the lubrication and things start to swell, expand and contract, you'll start pushing fluid outside of the seals, which is not, you know, the seals problem is just overfilled.
Yeah, so to kind of do a little recap, it's, you know, do a careful build there, follow the manual, or look online on our YouTube video. Look at the video here that's going to be a part of this one as well, where, you know, you go for the grease with the shims on the satellite gear, you press down over the pins on the hubs, and then when you go to assemble the whole thing, you have components that you can hold a little more carefully and the shims don't fall off. You fill up the outdrive hub to a reasonable level of the satellite gear so it doesn't lock up, and you slide it together. Use a little bit of Loctite on the screws like the video, put it together, and then you get a nice functioning diff.
Yeah, and you're ready to go have some fun.